Okay, I think we're back. Okay, good. I don't know what happens there sometimes. Like, sometimes it's just like, stream disconnected. So, and really the only way I know is I get a email every time I end a stream from my, I don't know, streaming provider, Restream, which is actually really good. So that's why I have sound on this, is so I can see like, oh look, stream cut out. Good to know, but it should be back up. I don't know what caused that. I was actually scared like I would lose internet, and that I was debating doing something where like I am offline, just so I don't have some weird issue. Like, I don't know, I sign out and then it thinks I'm on a different profile and it kicks me. That's one thing I didn't think about until right now. I think I corrected this, but I actually, well, when my sister's over in California for school, she leaves her Xbox at my parents', so usually I just borrow it, so that way I can have an Xbox plugged into my TV for like Netflix, because I usually have mine over at my computer. But it's an issue that normally I have that set to auto sign in, but if I'm playing something on the Xbox and the other one turns on, it kicks me. I believe she fixed that, so she was the auto sign in. But I'm thinking about like right now, if theoretically, here's just an example of how you can lose this run. Theoretically, if that wasn't fixed and my mother over at her house bumps my sister's Xbox, that would kill this run, because it would sign me out, and it would whether or not I can sign back in, I don't think anyone knows. Some games, like I play Destiny, that kicks you instantly, even if you sign back in. This might let me sign back in, but it might let me sign back in but stop me from getting achievements, which isn't the worst thing. I would like to have 7 Day Survivor as an achievement again for the remaster, but ultimately I still have a whole live stream proving I did it, so not the worst thing. But it's just one of those, like, one of the many things in Infinity Mode where you don't know. It's a gamble. And that's the thing, is like, I don't think anyone knows off the top of their head, if you're playing Infinity Mode and you get forcibly signed out, can you sign back in and still continue playing? I don't think anyone knows that. So, by the way, we're just waiting here, I guess, until I eat a pizza. It's like I have full inventory, but they're all like really good food. Particularly that Untouchable. I'd kind of like to use that Untouchable now. I don't know. One thing I also do like about Infinity Mode, I said this before, you see a lot more of items you wouldn't normally create. An example is a lot of the story cycles that are really tough, they give them good rewards. So I think coming up soon, Isabella, I think right now, Isabella is in Alfresca Plaza. Motorcycle Isabella, so she's lethal. But she drops an Energizer, which is 10 seconds of invincibility, I believe. And that's something like you can make that in the main game. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone actually do that, because it's like you need to make an Untouchable and a Quick Step or something, and then you combine those. It's like super inconvenient, and you're only invincible for like 6 to 10 seconds, and you're not, you're not invulnerable. You just can't take damage. So enemies can still grapple you. So it's not like it's particularly easy to use that invincibility. Like, for example, that seems like that'd be perfect for the Cletus, the gun store guy, right? Turn invincible, run up, hit him. But realistically, and I've tried this, he will just shoot you in the face, and you'll waste all 6 seconds of your invincibility basically walking forward, getting knocked down, and standing back up, and then he's going to shoot you again. So I don't know any actual use for that thing. Now, I mean, it's not bad. It seems like, for example, if you are literally having that much trouble with a boss, if you had 6 invincibility drinks, like, it's still a really good food item, so why not heal yourself and be invincible? So it's not like it's worthless either. It's just I don't know any situation in this game where I would go and make one. But that's not an issue in Infinity Mode, right? because you get loot drops. And I will say, I feel like I can't believe that's not in the main game. Like the little drops. I don't know what it would be, and it would feel a little clunky. But maybe, like, for example, the the cultists would be a good example of that. Or like maybe the, what's it called? The military guys at the end of the game. I kind of wish that they did drop several items at once. So it was like, hey, yeah, he had like a sandwich for his lunch, a stun gun, and then obviously the weapon they're holding. And then you could maybe see that stuff. Like, it'd be cool if you did get that drop. Like, oh, that's awesome, I killed this psycho or this military guy, and I got that really rare drop. Like, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Also, if they drop like different weapons, I feel like you could use more weapons. Like, because there's a lot of weapons that aren't bad, you just never see them. Particularly all the ones over in Chryslips. Like, I think the rarest weapons are over in Chryslips. Like, the mailbox is only in one place in the game. I know there's a really rare one called, it's like air vent, like T air vent or something, and it's literally the tubing for an air vent you'd see in like a business, and you can like put it on a zombie like you would a horse mask, and it gets blinded. You can infinite of them in the Chryslips, but you never see them. And you never would go there for that item either, but some of them aren't too bad. Like, it's actually a thing, like I think there's the hatchet is just a really good axe, and it's, I want to say it's on par with the katana. But because it's in Chryslips, you can get as many as you want at any single time. But no one goes all the way there to get Chryslips. I guess maybe it's intended that you would use those in the Chryslips fight. I guess that's what they kind of intend. But, yeah. Or some others, like, some weapons are amazing, but you never see. One example is, I want to say it's the auger. It's like just a giant drill you would drill holes in the ground for. And you can get the zombie on it, and the zombie will spin around. If I recall, I think I've tested it once. That thing has the potential to just drop so much damage. But it's a heavy weapon, and you have to get a zombie on it first. So you'll drop it. You rarely ever find it. This whole thing. But it's an amazing weapon. I don't know why you don't see it more often. I think there's a spawn of it in the park. But it's one of the weapons I always wanted to kind of find a use for. Because I can just tell, in the right circumstances, it's amazing. Like, I was always wondering, like, for all I know, maybe you can go get in Chryslips, grab that, take it to the Isabella fight, get a zombie on it, and then just let her hit you or something. Probably won't work, but it could. Maybe it's an instant kill, and you only take 3 blocks of damage from being hit. You know, what if? Maybe it has that much potential. But it's one of the things I don't think anyone will ever go and try. Or also, I don't really know any other psychos to be good against. I guess maybe it has potential maybe for Stephen Chapman. Like, if you could somehow get a zombie on it. I don't know if you can in that area. Like, get a zombie on it. I just trigger the fight, get a zombie on it, and then wait around a corner of an aisle for him to come through, and then you can just, like, take the drill to his face with a zombie on it, and he would just get, in theory, whacked a bunch. Like, it's the same thing as in Dead Rising 5 before they nerfed it, the Suckmaster 3000. Where it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it just does so many ticks of damage. So it might only do like 5 damage, but it does its check every 1/4 of a second, so it just adds up. And it's like, theoretically, it's a perfect psycho counter, because it puts their invincibility and anti-stagger mechanics against them, whereas it's designed to hurt zombies, right? But zombies get pushed away with one hit, and they usually die. But since psychos have protections to prevent you from, like, stun locking them, I think it would actually, they'd be stuck in the damage field and take a bunch of damage. That's some high level Dead Rising theory crafting for you right there. So that's one thing I like about Dead Rising. One thing I like is just every weapon has a use and a purpose, and there's so many fun interactions to learn. One thing I don't like is Dead Rising really needs a hard mode. I think this is something that Dead Rising 4 did very well when they had it come out, is Blackest Friday on Dead Rising 4, that difficulty mode really makes it shine so much more. And even going back to Dead Rising 1, while the game itself is kind of hard, once you really know how to play it, it becomes pretty damn easy. Where there's no real need for all these interactions. Like, I'm sure I could talk all day about the fun stuff you can go kill Adam the Clown. I made a guide on my YouTube channel about how to kill Adam the Clown, for example. And I list like 3 different ways. And like, there's a really cool one, for example, where there's that, again, that closet you can shut in Casual Gals, I think, in Wonderland Plaza. It's where, in the scoop, Paul the Arsonist, he has those 2 survivors locked in there. That's why it's that way. But you can get Adam the Clown locked in there, and you can kick him to death through the door without taking any damage. Super cool. But why would you ever do that when you can just more or less stun lock him using that little balloon trick? And I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that where there's some awesome, cool gameplay loop or mechanic that the game can do, but it's eclipsed by a much simpler, easier strategy. So, if you're just joining us, I'm going to go ahead and explain this. This pizza fully heals me, so I'm waiting for the last possible tick that I'm brave enough to eat it. Because it's going to fully overheal me, which is probably right about now. And that knocks him back up. I guess also, if you're joining Infinity Mode, Dead Rising 1, it's just lasts as long as you can, and your health ticks down. You starve to death. So you have to go out and find food, kill psychos and survivors for the food they're holding to try and last as long as possible. The goal is to get the 7-day survivor achievement. So yeah, we are currently just starting day 2. You don't have a watch in this game mode, so I just have to mainly just guess based off visual cues what time it is. The only exception is if I can actually find a clock in game, that works too. But I didn't think to collect a list of clocks. That'd be another thing I would love, my like theoretical Dead Rising Infinity Mode app. Is just clocks. Like, I don't think there's one in the security room. It feels like, oh, there is. Perfect. This is probably the one I'm gonna stare at a lot. Man, now that I mention it, like, yeah, of course. Ooh, let's put on one of the DLC outfits.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this before, but if you load up a vanilla Dead Rising copy, these aren't here. Dead Rising had online DLC. It's like something that's kind of like a little known fact, I believe. I never bought it, but it comes free with a remaster. Same with these.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. It's just like a weird thing. Like, I remember like coming in here and like, there wasn't this locker here before, right? I don't understand why they put them in here. Like, this is a very central area to put DLC. And the other one gets way over here in this corner. I guess, does this also give? Yeah. I guess they're distributed. I don't really remember all these ones. I can roll with that. It's pink shirt and white pants. It's good looking. I'm probably going to change clothes on Frank a lot because it's just got to find something to keep myself sane. I should actually look at the clock that I said I was. You can, by the way, this is your first hint that this room is in the non-safe state because you shouldn't normally be able to aim in here. So it is currently 2:15 in the morning. Okay. So if we want, I can go kill someone. I have 1 inventory slot to free up. Let's see who's there. I'd like the idea of maybe Carlito in the entrance plaza or Isabella. I don't know if anyone has a preference. I'd really like to beat Isabella. So let's go there. Do I dare? I could theoretically go right here. But this is open, by the way. The mall's in this weird pseudo non-story state. So that's why, like I said, the security room is safe. And also, this is unwelded. This is probably the least used hallway in the game. Because it's welded normally in the main game for the majority. Alright, wait, that's fine numbers. And it comes unwelded when the military shows up. Right? But by then, you're just so used to going out the main way. I don't think anyone notices. And in Infinity Mode, yeah. It's easy to forget that. However, also, what was I going to say? You can get into that hallway from the other way, like the way you theoretically do at the beginning of the game. but there's no reason to go in there. Ooh, I really want Carlito's food, but I need him to come to me. I can wreck him, and I can do the same cheese strat I normally do, I think, if I want to, where you can just kill him using a hockey stick, so you don't ever explode yourself. But on the other hand, looking at like what he drops a full heal stake. So as long as I don't literally die to him. Wow, he's just chilling there. I might literally die to him though. Nope. He's really weak still. Okay. Perfect. So I can eat this right away. I guess also I think this is a hint to use the hockey stick to kill him. I think developers knew about that. So I need the steak. Okay, I want to go Isabella next. Because she has some good stuff. And then there's a safe area in Alfresca in the gym. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and eat the corn. And then just go. This is probably going to be one of the riskier things I'm going to be doing in this run. Ooh, this is easy. Isabella is super evil. Like, one of the things that's really annoying about the Psychos in Dead Rising 1 is the way they're designed, there's no real protection. Is there anything in the trees I need to know about?
Yeah.
In this mode? I don't know. There's no real protection that stops them from just... Ooh. Stop. That stops them from comboing you completely from 100% health to dead. And I know this is totally a thing with Isabella, because it's happened before. So, like, for example, I was looking for a good way to kill Isabella. Like, consistently. Oh, come on. And I actually thought I had found one next to that blade store where the fight starts. Please stop. Freaking grubs at night are a pain. There's a little alcove you can get in that I thought she couldn't. So she just kept driving by and you could shoot her. But, there's a big but. She can just barely get in there. Just barely. Yeah. This is dangerous, because I'm probably going to have to end... I'm pretty sure she can't get in here. Zombies just barely can, but I'm hoping I can, like, snipe her. But anyway, she can get in there, and if she does, she gets stuck in there with you. So Frank just gets juggled until he's dead. So I'm going to clear out the... have a clear shot. Again, I kind of want to be sparing on how often I use that. Like, the Mega Buster, I'm more likely to run out, but I can get as many Mega Busters as I want. I cannot get another chainsaw. Especially because I'm not carrying the third book right now. Hit her. So I'm not carrying the third book. I only have what... I should be able to do this math. Why can't I do this math? 39. What, 900 kills? Yeah. I can only kill 900 zombies with the chainsaw. There we go, that's a good hit. Which sounds like a lot. But it's very easy over the course of 14 hours to break that up. And I plan on... See, I have two chainsaws, so you think, like, why not just use... Damn it. Why not just get the book? Because the book makes it last 3 times as long, so... I'd get 2,700 kills in one chainsaw instead of 2 900 ones. That's fair, and I plan on doing that eventually. But the thing is, I want to eventually, I can get all 3 books and double chainsaws so I can just kill stuff really easily. Damn it, would you just come up here? Because I kind of need her to die in an area that I can easily, like, collect her stuff in. So I'd rather her not go drive down that annoying area. There we go. Do I have inventory space? I keep making this mistake where it's like I don't have space. She gave a shotgun. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. That should be safe there for now. So I'm going to drop by the gym, which, again, as long as the glass doesn't break, is safe. And I don't think I've ever really used this entrance to the underground. So, and I'm pretty sure only I can break the glass, but I'm going to drop 2 pizzas and a steak. Yeah, and then for safety, I'm going to keep... Ooh, I don't like this. I'm going to keep the unflinchable on me. So here's the thing about breaking it. It's very easy to break the glass. I don't recall if the Mega Buster can break glass. I think that's one weird thing about it. But I can't just go up and swing a chainsaw at the glass, because then all of a sudden I'm screwed entirely and I don't have any safe places. And I say that safe, like, I'd like... Ooh. This is a little risky. I should probably zombie walk this. That would be a lot safer. But I'd like to take a little bit of a break here, where I just leave Frank in an area I know is safe. Although, I don't really actually trust the gym. Oh, duh. Why don't I just use the motorcycle? Let's take the shotgun. Where is the motorcycle? But I don't trust the gym. Like, again, in theory, it should be completely safe. I also just had a thought, like, in a weird way, the motorcycle is also somewhat safe. Can I get the motorcycle in here? Will it open? I'm not going to find out. Now is not the time. Actually, I'm trying to think. It's interesting they put the motorcycle in there at all, really. Because I'm trying to think if there's any weird interactions you could do in overtime mode. Not overtime mode. 7-Day Survivor with that. Because normally, like, they have a vehicle in here, by the way. You can get there's a bike in Alfresco. But, like, for example, if you fought Isabella in the entrance plaza, that means you could theoretically get a motorcycle all the way into Colby's Movie Land. That wouldn't really do you any good, but that's an option. And it would just be nice. But now that I think about it, it's good to know that there's that bike in entrance plaza, because you're pretty much safe when you're on the bike, as long as you keep moving forward. That's good to know. But I think the issue is, I think the bike is in a really annoying area. Didn't I pick up milk? I'll drink milk next. And that's one reason it's not ideal. So, like, I remember when I discovered the bike, I was thinking there was some, like, easy way to exploit it, but I don't think I found any. But, like, thanks for the shout out, man. Dying Light exclusives. This stream's actually going way better than I thought. I was afraid this stream was going to be, okay, guys, I need to go cook some food because it's my weekend and I need to, like, still get stuff done. Frank's not going to do anything for the next 2 hours. It's just every 20 minutes I have to press a button. But actually, it's been fairly fun so far. I think part of that is being willing to go, like, actually encounter Isabella. Like, I think a lot of people, when they do this mode, the last thing you want to do is fight any psycho. I think generally, I'm fairly confident, though, I can take them on. But if you were to do this attempt yourself, I'd recommend not fighting them. Definitely get the Mega Buster, but really don't fight them that much. There is plenty of food around the mall. If you can find a good list of all of it, you can pretty much stick to only killing the survivor psychos. There's no real term for it. It's really remote, but you fight the survivors you normally save, and they're just out randomly. And there's plenty of ones in there that are like, oh, like what? I just killed one a little while back on the rooftop, right? She had like, I think she had like a mailbox, and I have a Mega Buster, and I can stand somewhere where she can't climb up to. So you just like snipe her. She drops like an apple, you know? That gets you 15 more minutes of time, right? So stick to stuff like that is my advice. But all right, let me look this up. I mentioned before, I have a guide open that tells me how much everything heals, so I can do the math. Hey, thanks for the sub, man. I'm thinking of doing some more Dead Rising streaming. I'm always torn because I don't consider this to be like a gaming channel. Thanks, man. Like, I actually want to do more than just gaming stuff, so I always feel bad like streaming Dead Rising, because I don't know if you heard the news, but Dead Rising, like the studio shut down, Capcom Vancouver. But always in general, like Dead Rising, I was afraid, is it kind of like putting too much, what's it called, like too many eggs in one basket kind of thing, where I definitely think that audience is very static. It's not really growing. But then I feel bad because I still like doing these stuff. Like, I still like doing this stream. But I always wonder if like people see like this stream and some of the other Dead Rising stuff, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna sub, and then they later on realize like, I don't only do Dead Rising stuff. And when I do, it's awesome. It's a good, fun stream. But I don't do it like every week. So, sorry, huge tangent. Milk heals 4, so it's times 3, so 12. So that must be a full heal? No, that's, yeah, 3 times 4. I think I'm doing the math right. Yeah, 4. I have, so if it wasn't clear, I have all 3 health books. That's a given in this mode. So all food heals 3 times as much as it normally would. There's 2 books that give a 50% boost, and 1 book that gives a 100% boost. And you can just get them right at the start, so it's awesome. So most of the food is going to fully heal me, which means most of the food I have to fully wait out. Or I don't have to. Part of me almost wants to maybe attempt a run of Dead Rising where I just have to kill everyone, like all the psychos. That seems like that could be fun. But that seems really risky. Like, I want to prove I can do this before I do one that's like, this may take 20 hours to complete, or I might only get 2 hours in. Like, that's not something I'm in a position I can just potentially throw away a Saturday or a Sunday for. Rich Atkins. So if you ever see me looking to the side, like I said, I have my computer up here where I have chat. I have both Twitch chat and YouTube chat open because I stream to both if you prefer one or the other. But if I'm looking at there, I'm either looking at my chat or I have a guide open that tells me when all the psychos spawn and when the whatever spawns. Now come on, start the game. This is the game. So if this wasn't clear, this is infinity mode. So my health ticks down. So what I'm actually doing is I need to wait until I get as low as possible so that I can eat the next thing. This is one reason why I said I didn't think the stream was going to be the most amazing thing, because you're going to have downtime like this where realistically I have 3 full heals. So realistically I don't need to leave this for a real world hour. I don't want that to be the case, but realistically that's kind of what I should do. So the only exceptions I'm willing to make is if there's anyone else that like drops an exceptional amount of food.
Damn it.
Yeah, thanks again, man. Dying Light. Let's see. So, like, for example, Isabella's really dangerous, but since Isabella drops the snacks, that's 3 blocks. She drops the milk, that's a full heal. And then she drops the invincibility juice. I was like, well, yeah, I can justify going to get her. But it looks like the next one I should go get... Let's look through these. I killed Carlito. He gave me that. I killed Adam. I'm pretty sure Adam doesn't... I'd be curious to see if his chainsaw, maybe it is unlocked after you kill him. I don't know. Or maybe it just starts to spawn. So we have Mindy Baker. She spawns at 12 a.m. So she's... I have until 7 to kill her. She has an orange. No, I killed her already. 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. I think I already killed her. She's on the rooftop. No, that's the rooftop, not the helipad. So I could go there. There's someone in the movie theater. Are you talking about the last psychopath in the game, Dying Light? Or, like, are you talking like Brock in overtime mode? Or are you talking like the Butcher? I'll just need a little context. Brock's hard. I don't have a good strategy for him. Oh, I need to pay attention. I was getting distracted, and I could die if I do that. Because I would die once this meter drops all the way from the right to the left. If I don't press X in that time, Frank will die, and I will have wasted 3 hours. So sorry, it's very easy to get distracted. So give me a second here. I'll do this. But if you find Brock hard, there's not a ton of Dead Rising 1 speedrunners because of how the time mechanic works. But I know they have Brock down to a science. Where it's like you go in at, I think they're level 50 because they need to have the moves, but I think they have low level runs too. And it's like go in, jump, kick, punch once, dodge. He's gonna come forward, double lariat, dodge, jump kick, and it's this whole like sequence of moves. And if he keeps to RNG, you can just combo him. I'm not sure. I am on Discord. I have a Discord account. I don't have a Discord for this channel, I guess. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know how to use Discord that well, if I'm being honest. Oh, duh. Okay. I don't have one at the moment. It feels a little self-absorbed to make a Discord for myself until I have more of a community. And that's what I was kind of hoping to start. I feel like I hit a point on my channel where the way I'm thinking of it is like season 2, where I'm hoping to do more stuff like this. Like usually I just stream on Wednesdays, I stream D&D and stuff like that. And that's more for my sake. Or sometimes I'll hop on and stream whatever. But I want to make more of a effort. Like more of these are these big things I do. So like the whole idea with this Dead Rising thing, even though I didn't have as much time to plan it as I hoped, I wanted to make it a thing. Like, I'm going to do 7 Day Survivor because I haven't seen anyone stream that in a long time. I want to go stream every Dead Rising game. I still want to go stream Dead Rising Chop to You Drop, and I might try to put that together next weekend or so. I want to have Andrew, who I had on the Dead Rising 3 stream over, because Dead Rising Chop to You Drop's the Wii version. I'll go grab it over there when I have a chance. And it's super weird. But if you don't know this, one thing about him is, for the longest time, the only console he had was a Wii. So he'd come over and we'd play like Halo, but if I went to his house, it's like basically the only Wii game we could play together was Brawl, because he's not a huge Mario Kart fan. But he also had a collection of all these other Wii games that were like just okay, or like had these really weird mechanics, and I think he could really relate to like some of the gimmicks that they have to do in Dead Rising 1 Chop to You Drop. Because he's played both this game and also these other really weird games. Plus, every time I pull out that game, it's just so much fun to watch or to explain. Like, I was talking to him on stream yesterday how, like, one of the very particular issues with Dead Rising Chop to You Drop is how Frank swings the weapons. Because you can't really, well, you can, but I didn't notice at the time, you can't target properly in that game. I do not play Fortnite. I'd like to. Honestly, it's free. It's like, it seems like I should play. But, sorry, to finish my one thought. So, I talked about how, like, you end up, like, looking like a madman because I have, like, Frank's, like, I have, like, a dagger. I'm, like, just slashing at the sky trying to kill parrots. But I'd like to play Fortnite, but right now the hardest thing is I just need to have time to play it. Because I keep doing stuff like this stream, where this stream is going to take my entire Sunday. Whereas I need, like, just a day off to, like, I'm just going to play video games. I really need that. Just so I can be like, I can finally catch up on all these games I intend to. But I like the idea of Fortnite, and I feel like I would like that. Because I remember I really liked DayZ, which is, in a weird way, kind of what all that became based off of. Because, what was it? DayZ was an Arma mod, and then DayZ spun off into its own standalone. And then I want to say, I don't know if it was DayZ or another clone. Something cloned DayZ, or maybe it was DayZ. And then that developer left that studio, and then he founded the studio that made PUBG. I guess he's PlayerUnknown, right? That's his name. And then that was spun off by Epic when they changed Fortnite to not be a survival game, or a horde survival game, I guess, I don't know what you call it, instead to be the Battle Royale. So, it's just this whole thing. But anyway, I feel like I'd like it, because I played that all the way back then. I feel like it's got similar gameplay without all the annoyingness of it. Like, actually sitting down and having, like, a match-made thing seems really fun. Particularly, I don't know if I prefer PUBG's long games or Fortnite's short games. I feel like I like Fortnite's short games. I feel like I should play it, like, it's such a big game. I should have played it just to say, like, I know what it is and I understand it. Like, I feel like it gets a bad rap because it's, like, so many people play it and so many, like, young kids. But I feel like it's probably just a fine game. Like, it's not crazy to say I play this. Like, I think COD went through the same thing where it's, like, for a while, like, if you played, like, COD 4, it was, like, the kid, like, that's the game you go on to have, like, young kids screaming at you on Xbox. And I feel like Fortnite's like that. But I think it's probably a fine game. Like, there's no real issues. And I feel like I definitely want to have had that in the repertoire. I talk about this a lot. I feel like I have, like, a gaming repertoire, and there's certain games I should play to have that experience with. Like, it seems like for how big it is right now, if it's 10 years from now and I'm talking to someone, I'm like, man, I used to play so much Fortnite in my 20s, I'd want to be able to talk to them about it, you know? Just as a thing. Or it seems like, I don't know. Not that I'm someone who's like, oh, you can't call yourself a gamer unless you played these games. I'm not like that. But I do feel like there's certain ones you need to know. Or, like, there's a quote I always really liked. When I was younger, like, years ago, I used to listen to the Escapist podcast, which was, like, an online magazine. They're still around. They've got a good content. That's who, what's Yahtzee, that reviewer everyone really liked at the time. I think he still does stuff. He came through that, if you are aware of him. But there was a podcast, I think the woman's name was Susan Arndt or something. She was a reviewer for the Escapist. DL, okay, I can call you DL. And she had this quote where it's like, I guess all the time they get questions like, how do I become a game reviewer? And her advice was just play lots of games. But don't, and then particularly she made this point where it's like, don't just play only the good games. You need to play just as many games as you can get your hands on, because then you gain this, like, palette. So that means, like, play the big stuff. Go play, like, Dead Rising, Fortnite, whatever. But also just go play, you know, like, play that $5 game on Steam. You know, just because then you'll have an appreciation for all these things. And I thought that was a really good quote, and that I feel I try to, like, make sure I follow that when I pick out games. Like, I just play a lot of games. Don't just have one game and I play this game every day, for hundreds of hours. But be like, go out, play Dead Rising. Go play Chopped Dropped. You realize how many good mechanics are in Dead Rising 1 when you have them all missing in Dead Rising 2. Not Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising Chopped Dropped, the Wii version. So, again, sorry for this lackluster gameplay. I cannot give up a whole pizza, so I'm going to have to wait this out. Is there a clock in here at least? There's some milk I should take. Generally speaking, I'm not going to take these, because if it comes down to it, I want to be able to look up a guide on where there is food. Oops. So, like, if I'm stuck in here, I will always know that's there. Oh, here we go. So it is 7:15. I can't imagine anyone would play Dead Rising 1 if they didn't have the ability to actually read an analog clock. And to be fair, I don't actually think there is a digital clock in this game. In a weird way, I think... Well, first of all, with 2006, I feel like these clocks are way more common. But now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that an analog clock must be actually really easy to animate, whereas a digital clock would probably be pretty involved, wouldn't it? But this is just like, I wonder how they do this. Like, is there some script that, like, resyncs it every so often? Or do they just have, like, an animation that all clocks follow that's just 12 hours long? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one 12-hour long animation that's perfectly synced. I'd be curious. And then just, like, if you come into an area at, like, 6:15, it says, start this animation at this point, and then go. I mean, now that I think about it, you could probably break it down more. You probably just have a minute-long animation. Well, I guess it's not 12 hours long. It's a 1-hour-long animation in-game. But you only need to animate the hour hand. Only the hour hand needs that, like, syncing precision to say what hour it is. Does that make sense? And then you could just have like a minute long or a 5 minute long loop for the other hand. The minute hand. Yeah. God, I really wish that they had like there was more documentation on how Dead Rising 1 got made. I think Stipo has a bunch because he was digging into like the beta stuff, right? But yeah, unfortunately, if there is any of it, it would all be in Japanese, right? Because it was a Japanese developer. I really wish there was something I could drop. Like, I pretty much need the chainsaws. But do I? Do I? Because if I... Look at it this way. Like, if I didn't need the chainsaws, if I decide I can go exclusively with the Mega Buster, I will regain, at this point, 4 slots. So, and here's the issue also I want to say is, I don't mean for me just to sit around, and there's things I could do that would kind of speed that up. Like I said, if I drop the chainsaws, then I don't have to sit around and wait to eat this pizza. But that's kind of just greedily doing more stuff now and making myself wait later. Does that make sense? Because then if I have 4 extra inventory slots, inevitably I'm just going to end up with 4 pizzas in them, and I'm going to have to eat through those pizzas. So, sorry. I do wish there was any way. Like, I wish I could at least go, like, kill zombies. Like, that's one thing I like about that rooftop part where you fight the Hall family, is you at least have stuff you can do. Like, you can go snipe the zombies with the guns. But, like, with here, it's like, oh, cool, I guess I can go run on the treadmill, and maybe someone didn't know you could do this. It gives you PP in the main game. But, yeah. Or what I really don't quite understand is why they take away your camera. I think they take it away because you can't level up, like it doesn't give PP. Something like that, maybe. But it seems like this would be the perfect mode to like take photos, right? Where you're just doing a whole lot of nothing for a long period of time. Also, though, I think, while it does suck for the live stream, if you're someone who's watching this in the future, you at least have the benefit of you can just skip ahead on the stream. Like, in particular, the way I'd say would be good for most people watching this is just skip ahead when you can, and then if you see nothing's, like, happening, either comment in chat and we can talk, or you can just, you know, pause the video there, go do something, and build up, like, that buffer. Like, if you're watching the stuff I did at, like, 10 a.m., if you're watching it when it's noon for you, then you have, like, 2 hours worth of skipping ahead you can do. Golden brown pizza. But yeah, I wish there was a way you could just wait. I don't know if I'd be a fan of that in Infinity mode, though, but it'd be interesting. Like, I do feel like Dead Rising 1 should have had the option to wait. I'd be curious if in Infinity mode, it'd be kind of cool if you could just have like a, I don't know, speed up time feature, where it's like you're still active. So like if a zombie's gonna walk to you, it doesn't like, it can still walk to you. It's not like Skyrim when you would do wait, where the entire world freezes and then it updates itself. But yeah, something where it's like, as long as I hold X, Frank is like waiting. Like he just sits on a bench and he waits. And time is doubled when you wait. But it's still like, the game's still running, just at double time. It's not skipping ahead to a certain point, it's just saying everything moves faster. So that way, if a zombie was going to be able to hit you over the course of 4 hours, it would. But then still, you could avoid stuff like this. That'd be kind of good. Especially because what would be perfect is if they had that in Infinity mode, where you could wait, but you could only do it in, say, the security room. Because then that would be another element where it's like, technically, you never need to wait. But it's a fight against your own patience, right? Where you risk, like, here, would I risk going to the security room just to have a slightly more convenient gameplay experience? I guess I wouldn't, because then you still have the issue of having more food than you can carry, and if you have to go somewhere, that doesn't work. Where, like, I wouldn't wait here, because if I can go to the security room, I have all my food. So, I don't know. And this is, for example, like, one of the reasons this little setup here is why I wish Dead Rising had separate inventory slots. And I actually kind of like this for, in Dead Rising Chop You Drop, books contain a separate inventory slot, equipment, I should say, like, you equip books, and you have equipment slots for them. Is what I don't like is how, since I need to prioritize food so much, I will not get to use any interesting weapons. Which kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because that's kind of Dead Rising's, thing, is interesting weapons. I'm gonna, hold on, ditch this here. Oh, hold on, I have a knee drop. I can just do that. Let's mess around a little bit. Protect, varnish, paint. Can I paint? No. Sorry, that was risky. I don't know what I expected. So, what was so concerning is I aimed to throw the paint can at the window. If that window breaks, that is an issue. Oh, wow. I guess they didn't want to animate the spit, so he doesn't, like, have a spit animation. Because I guess you're not really meant to see it. But he just spits, like, literally through his teeth. I feel like I want this to be, like, remixed and I have this be, like, a beat in, like, some kind of, like, dubstep Dead Rising song where it's, like, but, like, speed it up so it's, like, I don't have the skills for that, but maybe someone someday. What else can we do? It's too bad that Infinity Mode wasn't in Dead Rising 2, because at least Dead Rising 2 has all those little mini games you could play, and I feel like that would mix so much better with this mode. You know, if you could hop on and be like, yeah, I have to wait, but at least I can go play like some gimmicky little mini game over the course. What's up, Jackpool? I see you in chat. We are, I guess, for those joining, currently, I am waiting for, I think, about another, 5 minutes or so until I can eat that pizza. This is in Infinity Mode, so Frank's health ticks down and he dies from starvation unless you eat. But I don't have slots. Oh, no, yeah, I dropped this too. That's why I have that extra slot. I should pick that back up. So, since this is a full heal with these books, I don't want to just leave it. Hey, what's up, Hand? So I don't want to leave this pizza. And, like, zombies can't get in, and I'm not going to go risk losing health by killing zombies. So we just have a ton of time to kill in this gym. So, yeah, what time is it? Time has passed. It is currently 9:05 a.m. on the second day. Oops. Sorry. So it's 9. So there's a couple survivors I could have gotten that I can't anymore. So, like, if I hadn't gone for Isabella right there, she would have despawned. Same with Carlito. Let's see, I can't get Nick more. It's fine. 1 milk. Where am I going next? Tad Hawthorne, maybe. Lindsay Harris. See, I need to go. I need to go to the heliport again. I guess there's a dead survivor with a pizza. So that's where I'm going to go next. And then I have to cook it. But yeah, Handa, day 1 went well. Scream at me in chat if if I'm not seeing that bar tick down. I'm really afraid I'm going to, be too focused on what I'm doing and Frank is going to die from starvation. This is really stressful. Every 20 minutes is super stressful because I have to let Frank almost die to maximize this pizza that I should pick up so it's ready. Or same, like, I have these paddles on my controller, like this is X. So the reason I don't normally hold the pizza is because I don't want to set down my controller and that presses X. I'm going to try carefully. There we go. It's almost like a given I'm going to preemptively eat some food. But, day 1 was super stressful, Hand. It always really is. I streamed for about 20 to 40 minutes with my mic not plugged in. So that kind of sucks. I sit and I explain everything about what I'm going to do and my strategy. And I'm muted until... This is like the biggest fear I have in streaming is I'm 40 minutes in and I just see one person like, hey, cool stream, but shouldn't your mic be on? And I'm just like, oh. I tried to restart the stream, but I didn't think it took. Because and also it's like I'm 40 minutes in, so I'm not going to restart the whole thing. But I kind of want to like have a stream that starts properly where I can be like, this is where I explain it. Boom. So, I'm going to watch this bar very intently. So. And then eat this pizza. But overall, the thing is, I really like Infinity Mode. I just hate that, how do I put this? Like, it makes you play this way. Like, one hell of a death, yeah. Like, it's so much fun to, like, how do I put this? Like, when I sit down and do a 7-Day Survivor, it's almost as if I had discovered new DLC for Dead Rising, like a new game mode. It'd be like if you love Dead Rising and you played it for years, and then on year 7 you unlock in overtime mode for the first time, not realizing it's there. I'm gonna eat. That's how Infinity Mode is for me. I mean, I haven't played it every day for 7 years or anything like that. But like, look at this. There is no possible way to get a motorcycle in Alfresco Plaza on any day other than in Infinity Mode, because I killed Isabella here. So here's just, don't you go away from me. It's like this is crazy situation that only happens if you can either mod or in this Infinity Mode. And it's just, it's cool. Can I throw myself through the window? Hold up. Oh, I have to get off. Okay. I thought I could transition with the motorcycle, and that was about to blow my mind. But the thing is, like, it's so much fun to play, but the game itself is like, go sit in a corner and eat a pizza. Which sucks because it's, how I put it, it's like, in a way, this game mode is a game mode with like 50 different psychopaths. Because all the survivors become people you can fight, plus all the psychos you would normally fight are in different places. So like you can, when you first load up the game, you can fight Paul, the arsonist, in here. Where's this? Oh, I'm probably by the wrong half. I always get it confused what area of the entrance plaza I am in. I need to pick up the third book. I have the criminal biography and entertainment. Oh, yeah, I know where it's at. It's just in Paradise. I just didn't pick it up. But yeah, like, just the fact that you can fight people different places is cool. So, like, Paul the Arsonist, like, the fight is just mechanically way different here because you have, like, all these lanes in the entrance plaza that he runs up and down. And you kind of have that in Wonderland if he goes up on the second story. But for the most part, in Wonderland, you also have those big open areas in the center where I feel like it's easier to track him down. So in a way, I feel like he's sometimes harder in the entrance plaza. And that's cool. Or like, for example, when you fight the Hall family, the sniper family, in their main area in the story, they're, honestly, I always thought really easy. Because there's a ton of shops you can like dive into and you can like corner them. And because they're, now it's the opposite with Paul, because they're in the lanes, Frank can just kind of chase them down and kill them. Now, compare that to, in, like, say, Infinity Mode, where they are just on the awning, like the picnic shelter in the park, and there's just 3 of them, and the only thing they're trying to target is you instead of the other survivors. They are much, much more lethal. Damn it. See, I always just make this mistake where it's like, yeah, I ate the last thing, but now I don't have an inventory slot for that pizza. I think also the issue, though, is they give away too many fully healing items. I guess they don't balance it around maybe you having the health books, because with the health books, like, nearly everything's a full heal. But I liked it earlier on when it was like, oh, you get, like, an apple. Because then it's a little easier to, like, come here, eat an apple that heals me for 3, and then go on. Do I dare? I keep being tempted to, you know, just drop that chainsaw. I don't know. Because I am acting like I'm going to get ahead at some point. Or like there's going to be a shortage. But I'm pretty sure with 7-Day Survivor, especially if I'm willing to kill enemies, I think I'm never going to like find the extra slot to have 2 chainsaws and the book. Honestly, bold move here. I'm going to drop the chainsaw and take the pizza. Also, I never see pet food as a weapon. I really want to play with it. That sounds weird to say, but I know I can't. Also, this is weird. She's just dead already. Like, she literally is never alive. I don't recall who she is, but like that's just a thing that some survivors are. Did I hear someone like say hey? So I'm going to, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over to Paradise and probably wait out, or probably the movie theater, because the movie theater's safe. I'm going to wait out a pizza, and then I'm going to grab the book. The next Chainsaw book, I should say. And also on the way there, I have to cook the pizza. This is another example of a mechanic that's super specific and never really comes up in the main game. At most, it's like that's cool that you can do that. But steak and pizza will spoil if they're in your inventory and aren't cooked. So I'm actually on a timer now to cook this pizza before it spoils. And it's not a big deal if it happens. It's just, it's going to make Frank sick. And that's kind of a pain. But also I'm losing potential, like, health. Also, honestly, I just like having something to do. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do 5-day Survivor and then 7-day all in one go. And I talked about this earlier. I don't know if I was muted then or not. But one thing that's really stressful is, and probably why you don't see a lot of longer records for this game, is you need to save the game to keep the unlocks. So when I hit 5-day Survivor, I'll have the achievement pop, and I can actually go use the laser sword then and there, but it won't be saved on this character's profile until I die and save the game. So I think a lot of people, as soon as they hit 7-day Survivor, instantly just kill Frank. You know, that makes sense because you don't want to run the risk of, oh, I'm going to go as long as I can last, and then you get to day 8 and the game freezes, because then you'll have the achievement still, but you won't have either of those unlocks anymore, and you'd have to do it again. And that's not quite ideal. So I'm going to go, I should have, every time I pass the secure room, I really do need to like just recharge my Mega Buster. I forget that. But, yeah. The thing is, I think this is going to be pretty easy. Like, I don't think it's honestly easier than I remember. Excuse me. But particularly, if I can reach day 5, I think then it's even easier, right? Is there no zombies in here at all? Oh, perfect. So we're just going to wait here. I think I've done this before. I'm very specifically not going to pick that up because I think it's happened before in Infinity Mode where I go hide in the movie theater and I accidentally grab one of those and then I drop my real Mega Buster not realizing I have the toy one, and then you go into a fight and you fire tennis balls and it's like, oh, I made a mistake. So I'm going to very specifically stay away from that thing. I'm going to go hide Frank in this little corner. I bet I've never stood in this spot in game before. No reason to. But I would love to see a heat map of just all these places you probably just never go. There's nothing here. You know, there might be an item in the main game or something, but there's really nothing in the movie theaters at all in any game, except for like the one cult scoop. I feel like there should be a reason the cult's in the movie theater. Like, I wish there was like a little bit more background on the survivors. Like I talked before, like I really wish Stephen Chapman, they had his name not be Stephen Chapman, but instead be Sean, so that it's like Sean, he's the owner of the store. That would make more sense that it's his store because he's Sean at Sean's Grocery. Same with I forget the cultist leader's name, but they should have named him Colby. You know, Colby's Movie Lion, and that would make sense why he already had keys to like the warehouse. And yeah, you can just theory craft that they found the keys, or maybe someone in the cult was like, hey, I have the keys here, and they just moved in. But I don't know, I feel like that'd be a nice little addition. But anyway, what I was going to say here is, if I can make it to day 5, I think that's pretty much a shoo-in. Because once I make it to day 5, then I have the laser sword, which is the melee version of the Mega Buster, basically. It's actually stronger than the Mega Buster, I think. Because I don't remember exactly. It's been so long since I used it. It's like it's equivalent to the Mega Buster. And I think the Mega Buster might have more damage overall. But for example, against Adam the Clown, you can't really shoot him because he blocks it. but you don't have that issue with the laser sword. But it does the full damage of the Mega Buster. Plus, if you play Dead Rising 1, you know the double lariat. It's like your go-to get out of a zombie horde move. What's unfortunate is you throw your item that you're holding if you do that. That's annoying. But if you do it with the laser sword, the blade length doubles, which is kind of cool. So it's great at hordes. But anyway, to come all the way back around, now this song is fire. To come all the way back around, once I can get the laser sword, I don't need the chainsaw. And if I don't need the chainsaw, I don't need the books. So it's very likely that once I get the laser sword, I'm going to be holding 4 to 5 more full pizzas. And I'll probably just wait day 5 out somewhere honestly stupid. Because the security room has zombies, and that would be the natural area to do it. It's very likely I'm going to go like to a closet in Entrance Plaza, and then that's going to be the entirety of the rest of the stream. Is me just doing, I guess, a Q&A when I wait out the timer. Which is annoying. And even though I'm waiting out the timer, it's still super stressful. Like, oh my god. So I'm going to take a risk. I have 10 more minutes before I need to eat. So I'm going to take a small little break here and get some more... I need to drink this water I've been meaning to. I'm going to get some more coffee and get a little bit of food, and I'll be right back. I'm only going like 6 feet that way, so I'm going to watch the screen. But it's just tense. You know, it's just tense that it's such a scary thought when it's like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Frank's at full health. He is safe. But I'm just afraid I'm going to come back and I'll see a zombie eating Frank, and he's got 1 block of health left. And I'll just see him die as I'm across the room. It's just like, oh. But I'm going to be right back. Scream in chat if something's happening. Because I can pull the chat up on my phone.
Attention shoppers! Please allow us here at the Willamette Parkview Mall to thank you for choosing to shop with us today. The time is now 12 noon. Thank you.
All right. This is like really relaxing music right now. I'm just like chilling. There's so many things I wanted to do for this stream that I never got around to. I was thinking, like, for example, one of the things I want to do is, so I have a computer engineering degree, which is a mix between software engineering and electrical circuitry. So I did this whole thing where I took courses about this is how circuits work. This is how, like, a transistor works. And you do stuff with, like, an Arduino or, like, a Raspberry Pi. And one thing I've always wanted to do, but never got around to, is crack open an Xbox controller, because I used to do that. I used to paint my own Xbox controllers, but those were all for the 360. And then I got an Xbox One, and then eventually I got an Elite. Best purchase ever. Love this thing. But it's expensive, so I'm not going to do it to this one. But I like the idea of maybe on my old one, cracking that open and trying to like solder in an Arduino to have an Arduino have like macro commands or to recreate certain things. Like I like the idea of maybe finding, for example, this, I could have one that is basically buy a broken Xbox controller and all I need is to get the X button to work. And then I could just have a controller that is just an X button, which is eat. So then I got, for example, something like this, that'd be really convenient. Where it's just like every 20 minutes, I'm like, awesome. Or like I always wanted, like the idea came out of when I'd play a lot of Destiny 1, or even like Destiny 2 now, where I'd want like each day to go do some basic simple stuff. And I wanted to have an Xbox controller that I could flip a switch and it would let me record basically a macro with my hands. And I wouldn't use that to like cheat or anything, but I just thought how great would it be if it's like, oh, I want to go, I mean, how can I relate this to Dead Rising so that it's more relevant? Like, let's say you have something that's just like really annoying, but you have to do all the time. Let's say, what's a good example? I want to go take a break, but I still want something to happen. So like I rig something up where in Dead Rising 2, if you go press B to open up the maintenance door outside the safe house, you know which one I'm talking about, the one from the demo or the tutorial, that would put you in a very exact spot, and then from there you could place something that says go to the safe room and maybe restock all your food from there and then come back here. So that way when I get to the point in the game and like hit B, it basically plays a script, walks Chuck all the way to the safe house, waits like 1 minute for any survivor to catch up, and then goes in. Then he goes in and grabs like some set food items that I know is there, and then he turns around, goes out, and goes all the way back to right before that door. And that way that's like perfect, where it's like, here's like 3 minutes worth of activities that the game can just, that's just maintenance. Like there's no zombies there. There's no gameplay you need to be good at there. But like if I'm on stream, I could go like take a bathroom break, you know, and then come back and say like, yeah. Or I don't know, just like other stuff. Like I always see people do cool little things like, here's a machine learning algorithm that can play Mario. It'd be kind of cool to like slowly, like if you had to sit down and develop a script to have a little bot play Dead Rising, how would you do that? It'd be cool. I don't think you would, because there's not enough ways to, how do I put, like that, you would need some really advanced like tech to have it understand where a zombie is on screen. So it wouldn't work for this. But, and there's too much RNG for that. But I really like the idea. Okay, we're eating. And we're off. And also, I don't know, it's something I just always meant to. And I think whenever I were to talk about something like that, I think most people's eyes go to like, oh, you want like a rapid fire controller so that when you pull the trigger, it pulls it 1,000 times a second. That's really not what I'd want out of it. But I hate games that just have so much, I call it minutia. Just like small, tiny little things that just waste your time, that you have to do all the time. It's just like, eh. Like for example, if I wanted to do, let's say I'm going to try to relate all these to Dead Rising so it's relevant to people watching. But like if I want to do like a lot of runs of Dead Rising 1, one of the things that is kind of boring is running the entrance plaza over and over. So that'd be one that's kind of like, I wonder if I could just, you know, like script that. Like Frank walks around triggers the cutscene, turns around, dies. Or, you know, maybe he tries to go to the, what is it, the entrance, but ultimately the script goes awry, and he dies to a zombie. That also works. But again, like, that's something where I can just, like, let that be taken care of. I don't think I've ever gotten up on these. It, like, just occurred to me that I could do this. There's a lot of, like, little things like that where it's, like, it's not complicated, or there's no real use to going up here, I guess, other than to get away from zombies. It's just, like, I just never thought of it before. Let's look at some of these books. I wish I had something that zoomed in. Megabuster. Connected LAN cables. Nothing but net. MVP players. A magazine just called Man. See, I always wished you could just like look at all these individual textures, because these are like high def enough that they're actually interesting to read, I'm sure. I think someone pulled some of these textures from the PC version. And for the most part, there's nothing too crazy. There is an amazing I Married My Own Pants DVD in North Plaza. That's awesome. And some of these books I know are referenced to other Capcom games. Let's see if I can get find one. I want to read that. Kawada's Fantasy. But I think there's the ones that are like, let's see if I can find one. Like Fight Street is an obvious reference to Street Fighter. I think that's this one right here. Yeah, Fighting Street. The Adventures of Dave. I don't know what those are. There's one that's like The Evil Resident or something. That's obviously a Resident Evil reference. I'm actually really surprised that, oh, hello. For all of the titles and stuff they have in Dead Rising, let's appreciate the artwork. Although I say that, but maybe for all I know, they just pulled all these off of like stock image websites or something. But especially the books you can actually carry. It'd be kind of cool to see a close-up of those. So we're just waiting, basically. Oh, I need to go check the time. And then I'll figure out where I'm going to go next. So I can at least get some gameplay. So the only clock I really know of is this main one right here. Central piece of Paradise Plaza. I always assumed this was supposed to be like a fire hydrant. So what is that, 215? I think this was supposed to be in like a fountain, like there's supposed to be water coming out and flowing into there, but they probably just didn't want to have that effect. So let's get somewhere safe and I can contemplate this. I don't think survivors can spawn in when you're in the same area in this game mode, but I don't actually know. Oh, there's orange juice right there. Make note. So I'm just gonna look right there. So let's see. Marriage Maker. So there's Tat. If I zone out and zone in, I can go kill one guy. I can get through here, right? Yeah. I think there's something hitting back there in the main game. I can't remember what. It's one of those things where I've learned about it and forgotten it so many times. I guess I could go kill Carlito. I think he's still there. Truck Carlito. That might be a fun one. I do feel bad that there's not more to do in game, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of want to go fight some stuff, but even if I go fight them, it's like, oh, like I'm going to go fight Tad Hawthorne. He's the guy you save from Kent. I can go fight him, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have, like, maybe a knife, and he's just going to pale in comparison to the Megabuster. Or the chainsaw. He's a Marriage Maker, so he should be right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got a broadsword. He's got a lot of health. He's got more health than Isabella. So it's like, I could go fight more stuff, but I don't know if it's actually that interesting. Cheese. How much is cheese heal? But if you have suggestions for anything you want to see, just drop them in chat. As long as it's not too much. Too dangerous. Heals 2, so it's going to heal half. Or it's like, I got to go fight him and that's fun, but now I'm kind of stuck waiting to eat this cheese. Oh, he dropped the skateboard. I can mess around with that. Let me see. Pretty sure, yeah, the Mega Buster can break glass. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a canon thing with the Mega Man or whatever. But it's a very weird little interaction that this has. Can I throw a skateboard? Heh. That actually killed the zombie. One of the things I was never good at keeping track of and it is the most dangerous about being a low level is you have all these other weird stat upgrades that happen. So like it increases your throwing distance and damage. So it's really hard to learn like what items are good thrown weapons. So, because like for example, if you throw a bench at like level 1, it's like not worth it. He throws it like right in front of him and it sucks. But like a level 50 bench throw, that is some serious zombie killing power. But same with like or there's like other things where, how do I put it, like they're just enough to be a one-shot awesome weapon, like the soda cans when you're level 50. But before then, they're all duds. Like, you'd never pick this thing up. And I just feel like because the level ups are semi-randomized before level 50, you also can't, like, really learn that stuff unless you really go deep into the game. Why am I so zoomed in on Frank right here? Is it because that centerpiece? This is, like, a really good shot. So after this block goes, I can eat this cheese. Okay, what do we have next then? Tad Hawthorne. It's like, I could go kill Cliff Hudson. He's the machete guy. I guess he's not until 7 p.m. So it'd be a while. But that would be fun and that's interesting. But all he drops is 1 cabbage. So realistically, I would need to be able to get to North Plaza and beat him without losing more than 3 blocks of health. Otherwise, it's just a detriment. And that'd be fine because even then, I'd kind of be willing to do it, but since he's a psycho... Oop, I hear zombies. Okay, they're far away. I'd be kind of willing to do it, but also he's a pretty strong psycho. So I really don't want to be in a situation where he could just kill me. Like, I'm okay, you know, like, fighting something that's, like, suboptimal, like a survivor. Even if it's I don't get ahead, but it's still something to do. But I'm not willing to bet at this point, what? 2.5 hours of gameplay on that. Same with like, I was even iffy about the Isabella fight. I see those. Oh. I should not throw that. But I was even iffy about the Isabella fight because of the fact that she could theoretically just combo me from full health all the way down. But she had that invincibility juice. I'm pretty sure that's the green one. So yeah. I don't know why I went out there. Can I just say, I always thought, like, this is the dumbest freaking store. What is this layout? The fact that you, like, can't get around here. It's... I don't know. I think... It's like whenever I see a store laid out like this, I assume there was originally supposed to be a scoop here, because that way they're pretty safe from zombies, or like over here. Can I get that as a wearable? Oh, that's a purse. I can't wear that. I never noticed that these purses are like so obviously fake plastic textures. Like there's obviously just like no effort into some of these. Like I get that this is the kind of bag that would be flat, but. Please don't. But, so there's also, like, for example, there's a store. I don't get why they have all these side stores and then do nothing with them, but there's one store in particular in Entrance Plaza where it's, like, huge. It's very deep, and you go all the way back, and there's this big round area. It seems like it must, for sure, have been developed for some specific scoop. But nothing uses it. And I really feel like, I don't know how they haven't done it, but then you should be able to have a randomized Dead Rising. So it's just like every hour, it rolls on a table to see, does a new scoop start now? And if so, it picks the first scoop, or a random scoop, of all the ones that are allowed, because you still have that 7 survivor limit, so if you have like Joe 1 spawn really early, I could see that